Hey everyone, welcome back. We're doing a final part to the salmon season here on High Point Outdoors. We had a question brought up to us through our YouTube channel. A user by the name of Wolverine Living asked me if I can go through kind of the setup of the boat, how he hooked up everything. He's outfitting his own salmon fishing vessel, it sounds like, and he was just looking for some pointers and advice on how he's going to hook his boat up. So I figured why not do a recap of our final season and kind of tell you what we were using and where we got our stuff from, and I can give links to the websites and the sources online and down in the link below, and we'll kind of go through everything with that. So first thing we're going to start with rod holders. So one of our biggest assets this year I think were these rod holders that we were using on our divers as well as our downriggers. These are made by Canon. They are swivel bases with the ratcheting rod holder. So with that being said, which it was very crucial to have while fighting a fish off the diver, so with the rod in its designated position, you have a fish pulling on it, and when that rod off of a diver rod, it's pulling hard, and sometimes it's difficult to get out here and pull that rod out. So with the ratcheting, you just pull back up and then you can pull the rod, and those were a huge help. So yeah, Canon makes these. I know Big John makes some, Magnum Metals, Trax, they all make their own form of ratcheting. We went with Canon just because we were kind of trying to match everything we had on the boat. So we had also got from Canon were these V-plates. These V-plates came with it, or separate, but we bought them to go with these rod holders. And so to go with those rod holders, we got another set of V-plates with the same Canon rod holders ratcheting that we're able to fit our Canon Digitrol downriggers on. So these Digitrols at the time, I think my dad bought them for around $1,300 or $1,400. They might have gone down by now because now they have the Optimums, but we will see, because we like these. They worked great for us and we had no complaints, and so we're going to keep using them. But the big reason why we got these rod holders was my dad was not pleased with the stock rod holder that came with Canon's downriggers. So if you want to adjust it, you have to unscrew this, adjust it, and then there you go. But he wasn't too fond of it, which I'm glad he wasn't, because I came to love these a lot more than this. And if you were to have two rod holders, you know, two side by side right here, it works, but it wasn't exactly our cup of tea of what we wanted. So all these are at Canon's website. You'd have to order them from there. You might be able to get some of these things off of Amazon or something like that. But they worked great. So kind of going back to these dipsy divers, the big important thing here is this gunnel rod holder here. Due to the fact that this is a Sea Ray amberjack and it is outfitted for a saltwater vessel, the angle of pitch on this is different than your freshwater. So, and I believe it is 30 degrees is freshwater and the saltwater is 15 degrees. So what we had to do, because we couldn't find a gimbal mount for it, is my dad did some research and went to Cisco's website, and they have this gimbal mount that you can adjust the angle and it'll swivel and whatnot. You just tighten it all down, it's on a little ball, and it worked out great, and we haven't had any issues with them. Just gotta make sure you tighten them beginning of the season and just check them throughout the year. So that was from Cisco Fishing Products. And then for our high lines, we have these rod holders, which were actually kind of custom find, because the tubing on our canopy here is actually a 2 1/4 inch tubing, and we are having trouble finding rod holders that would fit on here, the clamp-ons. And what we ended up finding was Fish on Sports were the only company that we could find that would fit on here for this 2 1/4 inch tubing. So it just so happened they had them, they fit, and they're stationary, which you can't move them, which is, you know, a bummer, but not a big deal, just due to the fact that they match the stainless steel look that my dad's got going that he really enjoys in the boat. And so that is that for those. And then finally, for the last rod holder we have is this here net holder. This rod holder here was made by A Marine, just got it off of Amazon, and then my dad had this custom tubing made from a buddy of his that threaded on to the bracket that your radio antenna would screw onto. So that sits here and it works. I will say it's sometimes the pain in the butt when you're fishing and the wind's blowing and the net happens to be collapsed down and it gets tangled up in the hooks here. That's the only downside from it, but it gets the net out of the way. So, but that is that set up there. So that is all of our rod holders. So now we're holding all of our rods. Then we need to go to our downriggers.